Well, with age, it's harder to lose weight. Losing the weight the first time is a lot easier. Recovering from exercise is a lot harder. I'm too old for this. 7 weeks ago, I decided to take on this mission and to share it with you guys, right? Take this journey right here to YouTube where I was gonna lose 30 pounds in 8 weeks. And I was like, this shouldn't be that hard. I've done it before. If you've been following me for a while, you've seen that I had a whole video back in like early 2019 where I talked about how I lost 30 pounds in 30 days. And I shared exactly what I did and how I did it. So I thought 30 pounds in 8 weeks, no big deal, right? So let's talk about the difference between then and now. Before I go into talking about that, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Lika Follette, and I'm a mom of 4 who lost 120 pounds in about a year, and that happened about 8 years ago. Since then, I've sustained those results for the most part until last year where I picked up at least 30 pounds, maybe even more due to some losses in my family and some tough times that I was having. And I went back to some really old habits. So now I've been on a mission to lose this weight. So I said, and I challenged myself, I said 30 pounds in 8 weeks, no big deal. So here's the difference between when I did it before, when I lost 120 pounds, or even when I did the 30 pounds in 30 days. The difference between then and now. It was at least 5 years ago. So obviously I'm a little older, right? So we all lean into that excuse. Well, with age, it's harder to lose weight, blah, 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 right? And I'd love to lean in that excuse because it's easy. But the fact of the matter is, I was way more determined back then. I was way more committed. I was more disciplined. In these last 7 weeks, what have I done? I hosted a whole retreat, flew to Orlando, spent a week there, having different events throughout the week and just doing a whole bunch, right? And of course, I wasn't exercising as consistently as I do when I'm home. And I wasn't eating on plan as consistently. When I got back, no weight loss. So the first few weeks I was doing this, right? I'd lost like 10 pounds. So I was like, oh, I'm on track, I'm doing this. Then traveled, no weight loss, right? I didn't gain, but I didn't lose. You can check out that video too, right? Since then, I'm always finding a reason that I should fall off plan a little bit. Oh, it's Super Bowl, it's a party, it's this, it's that. Let me go ahead and just try this thing. Let me do this. And so as long as I'm doing those things, the weight's gonna stay on, right? Sure, I'm down about 15 pounds in these 7, almost 8 weeks, but honestly, that's not the 30 I committed to. And of course, I went to New Orleans last week and it was so much fun and I was not on plan. It was beignets, it was, these seafood boils and, some fried stuff here and some wine and cheese there, and it was all these different things. And of course, I gained some weight. So now I'm sitting here in this space where I'm like still only down 12 to 13 pounds and still, having my knees hurt a little bit. They aren't all the way back to before, and I'm still feeling a little icky. And so I had to say to myself, what do I get to change? When do I get to fully commit? When I lost those 30 pounds in 30 days, I was home. Like I didn't go anywhere during those 30 days, literally nowhere, other than like to pick up the kids or grocery store or to drop them off somewhere. Outside of that, I was home. And when you live in that type of lifestyle, it gets easy because it's like there is no temptation. To be honest, let's be fair though, even when I lost 120 pounds, I was going out, I was hanging with friends, I was doing things, right? And I did that in a year. So it happened. It is doable, but I've got to be committed and disciplined. When I was losing the weight, it was like I could go on a vacation, I could go on a trip, and I was still going to stay on plan. I might have a glass of wine, but you weren't going to see me eating anybody's beignets or ice cream or anything like that. I was committed and disciplined. And I found that I'm not like that now. And it's so funny because I've actually shared this for several years, that losing the weight the first time is a lot easier than doing it again. Like if you lose 50 pounds and then you gain it back, that second time you lose the 50 pounds, it's gonna be a lot tougher. And the reason is because whatever it was, that why, that commitment, that thing that said, I am driving toward this 50-pound weight loss, it's never as strong the second time because you've already done it. And the brain is just like, no, I did that. So I had to think for myself, what is it that's gonna get me to commit again? And so as I've been going through that this week, what really hit home was the fact that I'm in pain. My knees are just like, if I'm exercising, my knees hurt. They do not feel good. I can't get down in a squat like I was before. Also, just recovering from exercise is a lot harder. So is that enough to drive me? No, it's not. I'm just being honest, it's not. But what will drive me, for me personally, is knowing that if I continue down this path, it's gonna affect my health. And anything that affects my health will affect my family. And I get to lean into that and see that as one of my reasons. But then the other reason is just me feeling better. I like to feel good. I like to be on the move. And as long as I'm doing all this, oh, I'm gonna be on track today and off track tomorrow, I'm not gonna feel good. So it's like, is feeling good important enough for me to actually commit, to actually be disciplined? I've committed to the exercise, but can I commit to the nutrition wholly and fully? Because you guys have heard me say and share, oh, I'm doing so good this week. And then you see the results and, oh, I lost some weight, I'm doing good. You can even see it in my body. Then it's like, oh, it was, this party I went to, I ate this. I'm like, who am I? That was never me. I gotta be honest. When I've been losing the weight, when I've been choosing like a healthier lifestyle for myself, I've not been the person historically that was like, oh, I'm going to this party, so I'm off plan. I was always like, okay, I'm going to this party. How can I eat that's going to work for me in the plan and my lifestyle? That's what I always did. So I was sitting here and I was trying to figure out what is it that shifted. And what I realized is I am still in a really tough place from last year. Like that stuff is still with me. And until I can step out of that, am I really gonna be able to fully be back to me? So I've been working through that. Obviously, we've been getting a therapist, mindset coach, all those things. But then on top of that, really just doing some meditation, getting to see and understand what is happening in me that gets to change. And so now it's time to shift. Now I can't play this game anymore. So this is week 7, we have one more week of these kind of, vlogs, right? Where am I, right? And my plan is to stay on track. My plan is to eat a nutritious, healthy way of eating. And actually, I'm not even gonna say that. My plan is really over the next 21 days to be really strict with keto, because I know for a fact, keto may not be a thing for everyone, but for me, whenever I'm eating in that way, my knees feel better, my body feels better, my hormones are like more sustained as opposed to being all out of whack. I feel more like me. So that's what I'm doing this week. That's not just this week. That's what I'm doing over the next 21 days. That's what I can commit to, 21 days. I'm back to short commitments, y'all, right? 21 days. And then after these 21 days, I'll see if I can continue, right? I'll try another week and then another week. And I'll take you guys with me on this journey. But this is week 7 and next week will be week 8 and I'll share my results then as well. But for now, I wanted to share that with you all, that this journey has not been easy for me. And I haven't been as committed as I would like to be. But I'm deciding now that it's time. It's time to stop playing these games. I'm too old for it. It's time to be real with it. It's time to really choose my health, my family, and myself. All right, so that's what I'm doing. All right, so now I'm gonna do the reveal so you guys can see and we'll compare it side by side to, last week and things like that. And let's keep this thing going. So that's it. That's where we are now. We got this though, right? So go ahead and subscribe. We'll see y'all next week. We're dropping these videos every week. Let's keep going. Let's keep each other accountable. I want to see your comments. I want to see your likes. I want you to let me know how you're doing and if you're leaning into this journey with me, because it's time for us to choose health, all right? So let me know what you're doing. I'll talk to y'all soon. Take care.